on life lessons I've learned from my parents. So my parents, they're really these models in my life, and they're exemplars of positive and right conduct. So throughout my life, I've been seeing them making good actions, and through that, I've integrated their beliefs and actions into myself so I can become a better person. So the first of these things I learned from my parents was discipline. I'm always seeing my parents exercising correct discipline in their life, and through that, I have learned more about myself and how I should act well. So like my parents, like one time, my mom was in a lot of stress and we had to drive somewhere in 5 minutes. And even though my mom was under a lot of stress, she still followed all the driving rules and she stopped at all the stop signs, despite being in lots of stress. And what I learned from that is even when you're under enormous stress, you should still act as you normally do and not let the stress get to you. So my mom remained disciplined by acting responsibly, even under hard conditions. And also, my parents have a lot of work and they make a lot of presentations. So they have used their extraordinary discipline to stay on top of their work and not procrastinate, which helped them do better, which has also helped me learn from seeing their example that I should also have more discipline. Also, my parents have enormous devotion. And okay, so my parents, when they talk to others, they talk as if they can see the divinity in them. And through that,
Sravan, can you pause for 1 second?
Yeah.
Kids, you cannot smile, laugh so much because it's distracting him. I know as a presenter, you should not be distracted with the audience. Okay? So, if it is not possible, then can you please sit on the floor so it's not reaching his eye level as much?
Yeah.
So whenever I think of doing an action, I ask myself, what would Swami say? And through that, I help myself understand the deep inner truth residing within me. And my parents truly motivate me to search deep within myself for this truth. So they have really helped me connect with my inner devotion. Also, my parents exemplify dedication in real life. Whenever they start something, they follow through with it. One thing I often do is when I'm doing my homework, I switch between different pieces. Like 1 minute I'm doing my biology homework, and then I decide to work on my government homework. And then I'm just leaving my biology textbook open while I'm doing other stuff at the same time. And my mom says, don't do one thing and then start another without finishing the first thing. And she told me that if I was a doctor and I was giving a surgery, I wouldn't just leave in the middle of the surgery while leaving the patient's stomach open. So similarly, I should finish one thing before going to the other. So my parents, through their motivation and through their determination, I've really learned how I can exemplify the things that they've taught me and integrate them into my own life. I've also learned from my parents how to respect. My parents are always respectful to everyone they meet, and they really show me how I should also show respect. Before, I used to not be as respectful, but by seeing my parents' example, I was able to gain more respect. And also when I'm talking with my parents, even though I'm younger than them and I'm not as wise as them, they still respect my perspective and try to look at it from my own eyes. And through that, I felt, shouldn't I also look at it from their perspective? And through that, I'm able to respect their ideas as well as they're able to respect mine. So that creates a system of mutual respect. So my parents have really taught me through example, by being kind and compassionate to me, that I should also be kind and compassionate to them and others. And finally, my parents are always really busy, but they're always able to make time for me and what they consider their priorities. They have to drive an hour to get to work every day because they work in Big Harbor. So they're often really stressed because they have a lot of driving and they also have a lot of work to do. But they're able to balance their priorities. Even when they have a really big presentation to do the next day, my mom still makes the time to make me my dinner, which I really appreciate, but it shows that they know how to manage their time effectively to balance their own priorities, which I, in the past, wasn't able to do as well. I don't have anywhere near as much stuff to do as they do. My parents have to do work, they have to take care of me, they have to take care of themselves, and the only things I have to do is just take care of my body and do my homework. Whereas before, I wasn't as well able to take care of those things as they were. So through their example, I was able to get better at time management and to get my priorities straight. So now it's easier for me to do my homework, to study for my tests, and create presentations without without really unduly causing stress for myself by mismanaging my time. Finally, my parents show me how to truly understand gratitude. So when I was younger, I didn't really show appreciation for what I have. I'd always go to the store and I'd see this toy and I'd ask my parents, "Mommy, get me that toy right now." And that showed that I didn't really understand what I already had. I had so many toys. I had hundreds of toys at my house. Yet I still saw one that was new and I wanted it. Whereas my parents, they show gratitude for everything they have. And they're always thankful to others who give them things or show them kindness. So through that attitude, I learned that I shouldn't take anything for granted. And I should understand that the only thing I own is the space in which I live and the air in which I breathe. So I've learned through my parents' example that I shouldn't take everything for granted. Because many people in this world don't have the privileges that I have. And I remembered a story that another uncle told us. It was about this person who went to Swami, and the person had ripped jeans, like that was the style back then. And Swami asked him, "Why do you have those ripped jeans?" And the guy said, "That's because this is for style." And Swami said, "Is it style to destroy something that was perfectly good when there are people out living in the world who don't even have the ability to wear jeans?" So lots of people don't have privileges, but I who have stuff waste the privileges that I have. So through my parents, I've learned to show gratitude for what I have, because it's because of my parents that I have all the things that I have. So through them, I've learned my gratitude. So finally, I'd like to give acknowledgments to my parents, especially my mom and my dad, because they taught me through their actions. They didn't tell me, be respectful, show gratitude, be responsible. They showed me through their actions by working hard every day, and by leading by example, I was able to learn from their lessons. Thank you. Any questions?
That's really a great speech, Sravan. So do you have any questions?
Abhinav has a speech.
How have you recently applied these